want to. The scriptures say you got to conform to something. There has to be an order to things. Otherwise, you just moving at random, you're doing what you want to do. Call it what it is. You serving yourself. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have learned to only serve themselves in these last days. And that's the poison that's flooding our communities and these households that we think we're building up. That we're really destroying with the way that we starting up. Right? We introducing poison into the body and we expecting it to fuel us for the better, and that's just not how the way things work. Right? So with that, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. He said, Shalom.
So I got the one I like out of regulation. I can't quote the exact one. I think it's 2030 something. Yeah.
What's your nationality on your father's side?
Well, they're both Norwegian.
Norwegian?
Yeah.
So when you deal with Revelation, it's talking about the end where Christ is revealed, right?
Right, yeah.
Now when it talks about no more pain and no more suffering, what's that talking about?
I think basically because he came back with all the suffering and the spiritual pain that we've been through, basically he's here, so you want to take those fallings away and you live in that Christ and you move forward in that kind of entity or that spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Let's kind of measure that up, right? Get Revelation 13 and 9 real quick, right?
Yeah. So I appreciate y'all, man, one time. Yeah.
Essentially what it's talking about is the kingdom of heaven, right?
Yeah.
The kingdom of heaven is where?
Man, good question.
It's on earth.
Okay.
Right, watch this. Read that.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9.
Yeah.
If any man have an ear, let him hear.
This is doing the revealing of Christ.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
So it says, he that leads into captivity is also going to go into captivity. Right? So if you're a part of the people in the generation that led into captivity, that's what's going to happen to you.
Basically, like, I'm going to interrupt. I'm going to ask, like all the time, like Bubba said. So if you do this, if you have an angle when you talk to somebody because you have a beneficiary from that angle, basically you're leading somebody into captivity, you're going to be with them too.
I mean, you can say that, like, if you profane the doctrine of the Bible, that's gonna come back on you as well. Right? Those that speak lies and blasphemy, that's a problem. Wow. This is talking about physically though.
Oh.
Watch this.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Now, who do you think is waiting on that to happen? Who wants that to happen? Like, if you look at a demographic of people and you correlate it with Bible and the believers of the Bible, who out of the whole world is waiting on this day to happen, where he that leads into captivity goes into captivity, and he that kills with the sword gets killed with the sword? Do you think that's anybody's dream or hope?
I would hope not.
Now, you would hope not? Are you a saint?
Am I a saint? Nobody is.
Do you want to be a saint?
No.
Watch this.
I want to just live through God.
Watch that.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
So that's what the patience and the faith of the saints. So the saints have faith that one day he that leadeth into captivity gets to go into captivity. You said nobody's a saint. Right? Is that, you find that in the Bible anywhere?
Yeah, nah, I can't say nobody is because I don't know all things, but I would say that most people are sinners.
Okay. So, but you take that statement back that nobody's saints, right? Because it says in Revelation.
I can't really say though. Who could really do that? It'd be like judging somebody. It'd be like saying what you don't know.
Get Psalms 50 and 5. Watch this. I'm going to show you who the saints are. You familiar with the Exodus, right? Who got brought out of Egypt? The Israelites. So the Israelites got brought out of Egypt, then they made a covenant with the Most High, right?
Yeah, but even the pharaohs knew this because they kept doing that thing back and forth for all the time.
What was that?
Even the pharaohs knew this because even every time they would have their people do the same thing that God put on them to show them. Back before you said, "I'll take the life of the son," am I right or wrong? Is that what they said? Yeah.
Wrong. Like they were trying to replicate the thing that Moses was doing, but at the end, when they put their serpent, when Moses put his serpent on the ground, and they put their serpent on the ground, our serpent devoured theirs. Right? So the superiority was established at the Most High. He's the one that got the ultimate power. Watch this. So dealing with saints, I just wanted to ask you what happened in the Exodus for a reason. So the Israelites got brought up out of Egypt by the hand of Moses, and then they made a covenant with the Most High God. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Okay, watch this.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
Those that made a covenant by sacrifice. So the Israelites are the saints that the Bible speaks of now. The saints are patiently waiting on the day that they get to see the people who killed them with the sword get killed with the sword, and the people that led them into captivity get led into captivity. Are you familiar with Psalm 149? It's Psalm 149 and 1. Watch this.
I know a lot of different ones, like to say the exact replica.
See, we know the whole entire Bible, but there's a linear logic to the Bible. The Bible just means bibli. It means biblios, which goes back to the word records. So it just means it's a compiled book of records.
I think the records, that's why they had to hide them.
But whose records are they? It's the Israelites' records, right? Because they
Once
call,
again, I can say what I don't know.
it's all right. It's good to say you don't know when you don't. We here to teach. So bring that out, Psalms 149, and start at verse 1. Watch this.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 149, verse 1.
Now, this is from the mind and from the mouth of a man that was perfect in the eyes of God. He did his wrongs, well, he took his punishments, and then he continued moving in the right way. We can agree on that. But this is a prophecy.
Praise ye the Lord. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints.
In the congregation of saints, in the congregation of the Israelites. Now, you said that you're not a saint. You know, you hope you strive to be and all of that stuff. That's good, but no one can strive to become an Israelite. So now that we have the clarification, you think one way and the Israelites think another way, right? Why? Because for one thing, they're looking at these documents from the beginning to the end from the perspective that, okay, this is for Israelites and it's not for anybody else. It's good for everybody else to know what's going on, because what's going on in the scriptures, it has an effect on what's going to happen in the end of the day, right? Everybody's going to experience it one way or another.
Well, we're experiencing it slowly but surely right now.
Exactly. It's just that everybody's going to end up in their prospective place at the end. The Israelites are going to end up in one place, everybody else in another, and that's fine, because that's the way it always has been. Keep reading.
Verse 2. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him.
Let Israel rejoice in God. Go ahead.
Let the children of Zion
There
be...
you go, bro. Hey, brother! Hey, brother! He's just going to keep walking. He came out mugging.
Really?
Come deal, bro! Don't just mug your brother! That's crazy. You hate your brothers. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king.
Let Zion be joyful in their king. One day, Yahweh, who the world calls Jesus Christ, is going to be our king. We just read the revealing of that king, where he that leads into captivity goes into captivity, so on and so on. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp.
Go ahead.
For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people.
He takes pleasure in his people. His people have been defined as Israel. Go ahead.
He will beautify the meek with salvation.
He will beautify the meek with salvation. Go ahead.
Let the saints be joyful in glory.
Now, what's salvation?
I would think that salvation is whoever eternal thing or happiness within the Lord.
You'd be correct. Now, it means to save, right? So he has to save the Israelites from whatever predicament they are in and deliver them. And then they receive that eternal happiness, right?
And it's hard because throughout the whole book, they went back and forth. Every time they would go one thing, then they would sit back and be like, okay, this part, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they
like,
would go off, right?
Basically, they would switch. It wouldn't like they're not switching up, but it would be like they would lose faith for a little bit and then regain it, because then he would. It's like basically nowadays it's faith without work, which makes people stronger because they got to see these things.
Yeah.
With their own eyes, 2 eyeballs, and see, you know what I mean? Us folks over here, they don't get to see those things.
That's right. But bookmark that. Get Isaiah 45. Isaiah 45 or something.
Tell me something was good, my man. I appreciate you, bro.
You about to leave? There's something important for you to
Yes,
hear, because you know what I'm saying. Christianity kind of is tricking everybody, as well as all these religions. Like you deal with Islam.
I read them all.
Yeah, but they're all deceiving, right? If you deal with the Bible, if you believe in the Bible, you stand on the Bible, what you'll find is that the Bible contradicts all the other books. So it has to come to the point where you have to stand on something, because if the Bible's going this way and you're standing on it, and then these Bibles are going and these books are going this way and you're standing on it, you're going to end up doing the splits, right? Until they just ultimately separate and you fall in the water. So we got to stand on something. But the Bible contradicts all these books. So who is salvation for?
Salvation is for any person that wants to seek a redeeming or to take part in that, in my opinion.
Let's find out. Watch this.
45 and 10.
17, 45, 17.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded. world without end.
So, you know, John 3:16, where it says God so loved the world, Israel is his own world. And it says we have an everlasting salvation. So we've gone on from time to time. This is why you see blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in the ghettos and all around the world in terrible predicaments. But God is going to redeem us because we have an everlasting salvation.
Those are worse in the end of the day.
Yeah. We the Israelites. And the scriptures tell us that these things is going to happen to us.
Sure.
But Jesus himself said he only came to save the Israelites. You know that?
Wow.
You didn't know that?
No, I did. I mean, if you read the Bible and you think about it, it was always, because there was the slaves back then, like, making them do affairs, making them do all this stuff. And they're like, you know, what about the Pharaoh, what was it, Abraham's son? One of his brothers tried to kill himself, and they sent him back over there, he became Pharaoh. Jacob, yeah. And he even gave the food to his family, and then put the money back in there, like, sent him back home, and all those kind of things. So, like, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, I'm going to go back and chop it over to y'all. What's y'all names, by the way?
We the fire of God.
Yeah,
AKA Masters.
Yeah, what's your name?
Us.
Marcus, man.
So Jesus came to save only the Israelites, right? Let me get Matthew 15 and 24. But what we're going to show you is in the process of saving the Israelites, everybody else has to take a back seat and go into captivity. We read, he that leads into captivity goes into captivity. We read that he that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. But there's some other secrets in the Bible that reveal that if the generation that did the crime isn't still there, the next generation, maybe 3 or 4 generations after, has to
pick up their father's bad will.
Yeah, there you go. So, go ahead and read that. 15 to 24.
I don't know a lot, but I know.
That's a good one to know. What's it?
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
He's not sent, but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So let's go back to Psalms 149, where I had you. I'm gonna finish that out. Just pick up where you left off. So he's not been sent, but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So how can everybody else get salvation through Christ, where he's only trying to deliver the house of Israel? Right? So there's wordplay that people use, but what you find out is when you read prophecy about the kingdom of heaven, it doesn't show everybody receiving salvation. It shows the Israelites having salvation, but everybody else in servitude to the Israelites. Right? So what's the conundrum? Well,
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 149, verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory.
so the saints are going to be joyful in glory. We'll read about that prophecy as well. Go ahead.
Salaki, let me start at 4, verse 4. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, a two-edged sword in their hand.
To do what?
To execute vengeance upon the heathen.
To execute vengeance upon the heathen. What does the word heathen mean? Right there. Nations.
Bad entity.
It means nations. You go to the word heathen, Hebraically, it goes into the Hebrew word goy, or goyim. It says goyim. So it says to execute vengeance upon the nations, right? The wicked, the ones who led into captivity, the ones that killed with the sword. Go ahead.
And punishments upon the people.
And punishments upon the people. Go ahead.
To bind their kings with chains.
To do what?
To bind their kings with chains.
To bind their kings with chains. And we're going to be doing this in salvation. That's crazy. Go ahead. They don't talk about this in church, though.
And their nobles with fetters of iron.
There you go. Go ahead.
To execute upon them the judgment written.
Meaning that this is a judgment the Most High wrote for all these nations, right? Through prophecy. Through the mouth of his prophets. Go ahead.
This honor have all his saints.
This honor has all his saints. So when I asked you earlier if you were a saint, if I asked you who should be waiting on that day we read about in Revelation, it's because the proof is always in the proverbial pudding, meaning we're going to see the spirit in the person that spirit belongs in. So you would be adverse. You know what the word adverse is in the Bible?
Adversity is against the grain.
No, in the Bible, what the word is in there. That represents, okay.
Against?
Shaitan, Satan. Satan means adversary, right? Now, it's not a coincidence. I'm not calling you names, but we see that you are adverse to what the saints are standing for, right? And it has to be that way because the Most High designed it that way. He made a people.
Always leave it to him when everything's bad, man.
There you go. He made a people that would be adverse, and he made a people that would be for him, right? That's crazy.
Yeah, they always said that they would find out through the path of the process and how people would go down that path. But nobody never said which one the people will pick, because you'll never know. Because it's like making the bed that you made, sleeping in it. A little bit different. The life process, it takes some more time. But salvation, back to salvation, that's what I pray for. And I pray for y'all, brother.
Are you Israelite?
I'm just a man, bro.
So there's no salvation.
I'm gonna keep hopping your hand. I gotta get going, my
I don't
brother.
want to do it no more. It was the first 2 times it was cool. It's getting
All right,
weird
man.
now.
Hey, God bless y'all,
Oh,
though.
you good? Put the camera
Y'all
on.
be blessed, all right?
Shalom, shalom. You got out of here. That was good and casual. Huh? I can't even hear you. I hate people walk
That's
off
what
and
they
talk
do.
to me. People walk off and talk to me. Are you speaking Muslim or whatever you call it? Arabic? Arabic? Okay. That was good. He got the look. Israel, brother sitting here reading with me. He witnessed it. This was special effects. Why dude walks up on us with a rosary. He's a Catholic, but he believes in the Quran and all this shit, man. That's why Babylon gotta go. Right. Silly niggas will follow dudes like that. Right. And we see that he was slow in the goddamn. He looked like Will Ferrell, Talladega Nights. We seen how slow he was, and our people are susceptible to listening to him. That's why Babylon gotta go.